Hello everyone, this is Sabrina again. I'm here with my channel Fluent Flow where I'm going to help you to develop your English skill in a very simple way. আজকে আবার একটা আর্টিকেল নিয়ে চলে আসলাম যেটা very recent একটা incident থেকে নেয়া and the article is from BBC online page. So let's start. Uh, Lost power, a mayday call and the crash that brought down a Baltimore bridge. Here, lost power, that means the electricity has completely gone. A mayday call and the crash, that means the crash, the smash, the accident which brought down a Baltimore bridge. Baltimore is a city of US where a bridge just crashed down by a ship, a cargo ship, container ship. So what is Mayday call? A call for help sent from a ship or aircraft by radio in emergency. Usually in emergency situation, if the crew from an aircraft or a ship, they ask for assistance, it's called a Mayday call. By the time the crew of Delhi, by the time, you can use the moment, the crew of Delhi, a massive, okay, sorry, I have highlighted crew because it's a collective noun. We use collective noun to present a number of a group of nouns or a group of things together with one word. Okay, so a massive. Instead of massive, you can even use immense, gigantic, enormous. There are more synonyms for this word you can find out and note them down in your word list again so that একটা ওয়ার্ডই বারবার ইউজ করার চেয়ে you can use very different words than the previous one. Okay, a massive container ship realized what was happening. They already realized what was actually happening. It was already far too late, though it was too late. It was, too late, inevitably delayed. It was delayed. They understood, they realized, but it's really late. So, the vessel at the very start, at the very beginning, or at first crack. So this is a very nice word which you can use instead of the very start, the very beginning. That means very soon when they started actually. At first crack of 27-day journey from the port of Baltimore. 27-day journey. Why did they write 27 day? Why didn't they write 27 days? Do you know? Because it is not a noun. 27 day, it is actually describing the journey. What kind of journey it was? It was a 27 days journey. Or how long the journey was? It was 27 days journey. So আমরা মেইনলি একটা নাউনকে প্লুরাল করতে পারি, but we cannot make an adjective plural. Adjective plural হয় না. So that you have to understand that our 27 day actually an adjective, not a noun. Here noun is the journey. So okay, journey from the port of Baltimore to Sri Lanka. That means they are heading towards Sri Lanka. Completely, entirely, or totally lost power. When a ship lost its total power, total electricity, you can say blackout. Entirely blackout after leaving the port and was hurtling at speed towards. Hurtling means it lost its control, but still it was moving aimlessly, drifted uncontrollably. It didn't have the control on itself. At a speed towards the city's iconic Francis Scott Key Bridge. I have highlighted cities to show that they have used apostrophes here with cities. Typically, apostrophes we use to show the possession. So here I will say that city and country, they don't strictly own something. So here using apostrophes is not grammatically correct, but it might be more perfect if you use apostrophes with a person or animals, like his belonging things, that means it's his things, right? John is belonging things, it's John's. Mary's belonging, it's Mary's. But for cities, it will be more perfect if you use the iconic bridge of the city. After all, I will not say it's not correct. City is iconic. Instead of iconic, even you can use landmark, legendary. Francis Scott Key Bridge. It is the middle of the night and the crew on board. I have highlighted crew here again to show that a collective noun can use plural verb as well. When the collective noun, representing the members who are acting as an individual, crew, there are a lot of people who are working as crew. Crew doesn't mean one person. There are a lot of people together make a crew, and every member of this crew acting as an individual. So it must take a plural verb. There are more examples of this kind of collective nouns such as jury, family, couple. Okay, so you will never say that a couple were sitting there. Okay, so crew on board were pitched into further darkness when the ship's light suddenly went out. Were pitched into, suddenly find oneself in a particular state or situation. That means the crew on board, they found themselves in a very unexpected situation which put them into the further darkness. They were already in the dark. They were in, the whole ship was with blackout, and there they pitched into the further darkness, means they were moving towards a bridge, Baltimore Bridge. The vessel was dead. What is the meaning of the vessel was dead? The vessel was dead means the ship was lifeless, essentially lifeless. Without the electricity, it's totally impossible to move a ship. There were no electronics, means there was nothing working which were running with electricity. There was no communication way. Everything was dead, and crucially, significantly, no engine power. The engine was totally dead. It was not working. So let's move on to the next part. They were adrift. The ship was floating aimlessly, without control or direction. Adrift. It was aimless or off target. It was just going without any control, but powerless to stop what was happening. They were adrift. That means they means the crew. They were adrift. They were moving aimlessly, but powerless to stop the ship or stop what was happening. Actually, despite their efforts, the crew couldn't prevent the unfolding situation. Multiple alarms rang out, and several alarms sounded. Rang out, if you can even use sounded. As the crew ran unsuccessful, as the crew ran futile or vain test, they were actually they were assessing in a different way. They were alarming, giving alarm, and they were also, they took several other steps in a desperate attempt to fix the issue. Desperate, they were definitely they were very anxious, right? Desperate attempt, do or die attempt. Whatever happening, they were determined to stop that. Okay, to fix the issue and regain power, restore power. They were trying to restore the electricity of the vessel. The local pilot on board the vessel frantically gave order. Means a pilot for a ship means someone very experienced in navigation. He has good idea about the local area so that he can help the ship to move through the channel or through a very narrow challenging water area from the port or to the port. So the pilot basically a very experienced navigator. A local pilot on board the vessel frantically gave orders. Frantically means desperately. He didn't give the order, in a cool brain, telling the crew to steer the rudder hard to port and drop anchor to keep it from drifting starboard. Drifting starboard means what? Starboard means actually the right side of a ship or aircraft looking forward. When you were looking forward, the right side of the ship or an aircraft will you can say with starboard. Okay. While an emergency generator is believed to have kicked in, started or activated, believed to have activated, the ship never regained the use of its engines. So what happened, They believe that the emergency generator will start acting during the time, but the ship never regained the use of its engines. That means, however, it is not confirmed. However, it is not confirmed that it will, but they believed, and finally, it didn't happen actually. The pilots were left with no choice. The pilots had their backs against the wall. This is a very good phrase when you don't have any other choice. The pilots had their backs against the wall. Shortly, soon, shortly, the meaning of shortly is soon. Before 1:40, they issued a mayday call warning authorities that a collision was a crash, an accident, was imminent. What is the meaning of imminent? About to happen or forthcoming. A collision was forthcoming. Something was going to happen. So this is a very good article. অনেকগুলো word আছে যেগুলো you can keep it in your collection, keep it and for further use. And as I always said that whatever you are learning, please start using them from day one. So if you like the video, please hit the like button as well as subscribe my channel. Thank you and bye bye.